The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club was founded in 1948 in Fontana, California, by a group of World War II veterans who sought the camaraderie and thrill that riding motorcycles provided. What started as a small gathering of bikers with a passion for the open road quickly evolved into something far more organized and notorious. The Hells Angels became known for their rejection of mainstream societal norms, embracing a countercultural lifestyle that revolved around freedom, rebellion, and loyalty. However, beneath this veneer of outlaw romanticism lay a darker reality. By the late 1950s and early 1960s, the club had begun engaging in criminal activities that extended far beyond recreational motorcycle riding. What made the Hells Angels distinct from other motorcycle clubs was their transformation into a sophisticated and hierarchical organization with a rigid internal structure. This structure allowed them to expand both geographically and in terms of influence. By the 1970s, the Hells Angels had chapters not only throughout the United States, but also in Canada, Europe, and Australia. Each chapter operated semi-autonomously while remaining loyal to the larger organization. This international reach and organizational discipline enabled the club to engage in various criminal enterprises on a global scale, including drug trafficking, arms smuggling, and extortion. The Hells Angels were no longer just a group of motorcycle enthusiasts. They were a powerful and dangerous criminal syndicate. The criminal activities of the Hells Angels are diverse and well-coordinated, making them a formidable presence in the world of organized crime. One of their primary sources of income is drug trafficking, particularly the production and distribution of methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin. Their involvement in the drug trade often brings them into alliances or conflicts with other criminal organizations, such as Mexican cartels or European drug networks. These partnerships and rivalries enable the Hells Angels to maintain a stronghold in both local and international drug markets, fueling their expansion and financial growth. In addition to drugs, the Hells Angels are heavily involved in arms trafficking. They have been known to smuggle firearms across borders, providing illegal weapons to various criminal groups and individuals. This arms trade not only generates substantial revenue, but also solidifies their position as a significant player in the global black market. Furthermore, the club engages in extortion, targeting businesses that are vulnerable to intimidation, such as bars, nightclubs, and construction companies. These businesses are often coerced into paying protection money under the threat of violence or property damage. The Hells Angels also use legitimate businesses as fronts for their illegal activities. Motorcycle repair shops, tattoo parlors, and bars are commonly owned and operated by members, providing a facade of legitimacy while serving as hubs for money laundering and other illicit operations. This blend of legal and illegal enterprises makes it challenging for law enforcement to track their activities and disrupt their revenue streams. One of the most defining aspects of the Hells Angels is their long-standing rivalries with other outlaw motorcycle gangs, OMGs. These rivalries often erupt into violent turf wars as different gangs vie for control over territories and criminal markets. Among their fiercest competitors are the Mongols, Bandidos, and Outlaws, each of whom has its own history of violence and criminality. These conflicts are not merely territorial. They are deeply personal and often result in brutal confrontations involving shootings, bombings, and street brawls. Perhaps one of the most infamous instances of these rivalries was the 2015 shootout in Waco, Texas, involving the Bandidos and the Hells Angels. The confrontation took place at a restaurant where members of both gangs had gathered, leading to a violent clash that left 9 people dead and dozens injured. Such incidents highlight the deadly seriousness of these turf wars and the lengths to which OMGs will go to protect their interests. These violent conflicts often spill over into civilian areas, putting communities at risk and drawing significant attention from law enforcement and the media. Despite these rivalries, OMGs occasionally form temporary alliances when it benefits their mutual interests. However, such truces are often short-lived, as the competitive nature of their operations inevitably leads to renewed hostilities. The violent reputation of the Hells Angels and their rivals has made them a focal point for law enforcement agencies, which view them as a significant threat to public safety. The Hells Angels have become a cultural icon, often portrayed in films, documentaries, and literature as modern-day rebels who embody freedom and defiance. This portrayal has helped create a romanticized image of the biker lifestyle, where members are seen as anti-heroes fighting against societal norms. Movies like Easy Rider and television shows like Sons of Anarchy have further solidified this perception, blurring the line between fact and fiction. However, the reality of the Hells Angels is far less glamorous. Their operations are rooted in violence, intimidation, and criminal enterprise. Members are known to enforce strict loyalty codes, and betrayal is often met with severe punishment, ranging from physical assault to execution. This darker side of the club is rarely depicted in popular media, but it is well documented by law enforcement and investigative journalists. The public fascination with the Hells Angels as cultural icons often overshadows the very real dangers they pose to communities and individuals. Over the decades, law enforcement agencies across the globe have launched numerous operations to dismantle the Hells Angels and other OMGs. These efforts include undercover sting operations, surveillance, and collaborative initiatives between national and international police forces. One notable example is Operation Black Biscuit, conducted by the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives (ATF). This multi-year investigation infiltrated the Hells Angels, resulting in numerous arrests and exposing the club's inner workings. Despite such successes, the Hells Angels remain a difficult target. Their decentralized structure, combined with their strict loyalty and secrecy, makes infiltration challenging. Members are well versed in avoiding legal pitfalls, using encrypted communication and legal loopholes to evade prosecution. Moreover, their reputation for retaliation deters witnesses from coming forward, further complicating law enforcement efforts. As climate change, global connectivity, and shifting political landscapes reshape the world, outlaw motorcycle gangs like the Hells Angels face both new challenges and opportunities. Increased law enforcement scrutiny and international cooperation could lead to more effective crackdowns. However, the adaptability and resilience of these organizations suggest that they will continue to evolve, finding new ways to operate in the shadows of society. The Hells Angels and similar gangs are more than just criminal organizations. They are deeply ingrained in the fabric of global organized crime and cultural mythology. Their future will likely depend on their ability to navigate the changing landscape of crime, law enforcement, and public perception. However, the lasting impact of their activities, both positive in terms of cultural contributions and negative in terms of criminal influence, will continue to shape their legacy for years to come.